What's up guys, my name is Michael. In this video I have a whole bunch of iPhone 13 Pro hidden features and new changes. So first off, if you just got your iPhone 13 Pro, congratulations. I absolutely love mine. I have the 13 Pro Max here in the gold finish. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know I said that this is my new favorite iPhone of all time. Previously, it was the iPhone 6S. I don't know what it was about that phone, just overall, the phone was very solid the entire time I used it, and I get very similar vibes with this iPhone 13 Pro here. The 120 hertz, the display, the camera, overall this phone is just a beast, and I've only been using it for a day. So in this video, we're gonna go over some hidden features and changes of the new iPhone 13 Pro. So the first change is MagSafe. Now, even though this phone uses the exact same design as the iPhone 12, I have noticed a few changes with MagSafe. So as you remember, MagSafe was introduced last year with the iPhone 12s, and Apple introduced a few accessories that go along with it, such as this MagSafe charging puck. And what Apple changed this year with the iPhone 13 and the 13 Pro is MagSafe is significantly stronger, I find. So because I was coming from the 12 Pro to the 13 Pro Max, I was a little bit worried that my MagSafe car vent mount would actually be a little bit weak because this phone is so heavy. But it seems like Apple knew about this, and they made the magnets a lot stronger in the iPhone 13 series. So I have the MagSafe wallet here, and I notice when I put it on, it just attaches with way more security than my iPhone 12 or 12 Pro ever did. Now that being said, this MagSafe wallet still rotates very easily, and there is another hidden feature involving this wallet, which I'll talk about a little bit later in this video. But just the actual magnetization process is way stronger. I guarantee Apple did something with these magnets, because also when I connect it to my car, the 13 Pro Max is on there really good. And I've had my iPhone 12 connected to that before, and it never felt like it was connected that strong to the magnets. So I think Apple definitely made the magnets in the back of this either thicker or stronger or something, because MagSafe is a much better experience now on the 13 Pro. So next up is Apple actually redesigned the inside of these phones. Now that really isn't gonna make any difference at all. This is just an iPhone 12, not even a 12 Pro here in this photo. But you can see Apple is now labeling the A15 Bionic. I don't know why that matters for screen repair technicians. When they take your screen off, they need to see that it says A15. Whatever, it doesn't really matter to me. But what does matter is inside these phones, from the teardowns that we have found in the last day, is the Haptic Engine is smaller inside the iPhone 13 models, but it seems like Apple is doing some wizardry behind the scenes, because the Haptic Engine is way tighter feeling and just stronger on my 13 Pro Max. So even when I flip the mute switch on the side of my phone, the haptics feel like they go throughout the entire phone, whereas before on my iPhone 12 Pro, it was a bit more prominent towards the bottom half of the phone, because I believe the Haptic Engine lives in the bottom. So whatever Apple is doing with the Haptic Engine this year, including making it smaller, it seems to be working for more prominence across the entire system. So next up is inside the camera. Now Apple introduced a new feature called Photographic Styles with the iPhone 13 and 13 Pro. Now I've set my style at rich contrast. I just love the way it looks. You can see here you can have standard, rich contrast like mine, vibrant, and a few other ones like warm and cool. And you can also make adjustments to these. So you can see there's a tone slider and a warmth slider, and you can make small adjustments, and you can see it changes the name as you make these adjustments. So vibrant, cool, and if I make this a little bit warmer, you can see it says vibrant, warm, and it'll change the name of these presets based on what you do on the slider. So you can adjust these, really fine tune them, and really get the style that you like in your photos. And another very small thing I just noticed here is this Photographic Styles icon on the top right. If you customize one of Apple's profiles, it'll actually go into a different color. So as you can see, because I was adjusting the sliders of this vibrant profile, you can see that that icon right next to the raw icon up there is now colorful. So just a little icon tweak right there. Okay, so now for some accessories. So the iPhone 13 accessories from Apple have seen a bit of a change. This is the Sequoia green leather case for the 13 Pro Max. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a separate review of this. But it's kind of funny, the camera bump, well, actually there is now a camera bump, because the camera bump on the iPhone is so big. The leather cases and the silicone cases have never had a camera bump this huge before, but I thought it was funny, and I figured I may as well point it out, because the camera bump even on the case is obnoxiously big. But it's worth it, because from my testing, the cameras on these phones are absolutely unbelievable. And also, the MagSafe ring inside the iPhone case is actually not as visible now. So you can still see the very faint outline of the MagSafe magnets, but it is not even close to as prominent as the iPhone 12 cases were. And also, one very small thing I figured I would point out is last year when Apple was selling these leather cases, they had a photo in the store showing a ring on the leather as to how the MagSafe charger would affect the leather case over time. That was for the iPhone 12. Now they don't show that. So for some reason, Apple isn't warning customers that this MagSafe charger will put a ring on the back of these leather cases. They had that photo and that warning for the iPhone 12 cases, but I guess they're not doing it this year for the 13. Okay, so now for the update for the wallet, like I said, I would tell you about. This wallet now supports Find My. Now, there is no extra chip, there is no extra sensor in this wallet. Apple just wants you to buy the new colors because from what I've been able to tell, these wallets are exactly the same as last year's wallets, but last year's wallets don't work with Find My. So how it works is when you attach the wallet for the first time, your iPhone will ask if you want to pair it. It'll pop up at the bottom of the screen, just like AirPods or an AirTag setup would. And then whenever you detach the wallet from your phone, if it's been off your phone for over a minute, you will get a notification from the Find My app saying that your wallet was left behind, and it will give you the nearest address that your iPhone GPS was able to find when the wallet came off. Now, I would open the Find My app to show you, but it's showing my address and all my devices, so I don't want to blur that out. But once you connect the wallet, it'll show up in the Find My app, and you can choose to turn on or off the disconnection alerts if the wallet comes off of your phone. It has been a little bit annoying just because I'm one of those people that takes my wallet on and off my phone constantly. It's not always on the back of my phone. So you can turn that on or off if you want, but it is nice that the wallet now supports Find My. It just kind of sucks that Apple makes you buy a whole new wallet. Another small change is with the smaller notch on the 13 Pro this year, the mesh on the earpiece speaker has been made more fine and a little bit tighter. And you can also see that the earpiece itself is a little bit wider. I find this redesign keeps dust out of the earpiece a lot easier, especially when I put it in my sweatpants pocket. And speaking of the earpiece, I have noticed that when you are playing music and just overall any sound out of the iPhone 13, it is a lot deeper and there's a lot more separation now. So the first time I played a song on Apple Music, I could hear the separation of the instruments. I could hear different instruments coming out of the bottom speaker, and I could hear more fine, high-pitched sounds coming out of the earpiece speaker. So Apple has definitely refined the sound on this iPhone, and the new earpiece speaker is definitely able to push out a lot more air. And here's another thing you guys might find funny. With the smaller notch on the 13 this year, Apple hasn't given us any extra information at the top of the phone. They have just made these icons comically large. When I saw the promo video for the 13, I honestly thought that that was horrible CGI and someone on the cutting room floor messed up horribly in marketing. But no, these are how big the icons are. It's hilarious. I have no idea why Apple thinks they couldn't fit battery percentage up there. The only thing maybe is continuity between the lineup, because the 13 mini still can't fit the battery percentage. They're not giving it to the Pro Max users, but a little bit frustrating there that we still can't have the battery percentage, but we get blown up comical size icons. So earlier you heard me raving about how awesome 120 Hz ProMotion is. I swear it makes this phone feel like a completely different device. But for some reason, if you want to turn this off, if it bugs your eyes or something, go into settings, go to accessibility, and then there is a motion tab, and then you can click limit frame rate. Funny enough, this has been present in iOS before iPhones even had 120 Hz. I can only assume that this was for iPad OS because the iPad Pro had 120 Hz way back in 2017. But just turn on this limit frame rate button if you want to turn off ProMotion. I think Apple could have made this a little bit more clear. They could have just called this ProMotion on or off, and it could have been a bit easier to understand for people. But the toggle is still here if you want to turn that off. And also, if your battery is running low and you want to go into low power mode, that will also limit ProMotion to 60 Hz. So I guess it's not ProMotion anymore. So once you turn on low power mode, I can see my screen instantly gets more jittery and ProMotion is disabled. So next is the iPhone 13 Pro has Apple's latest chip, the A15 Bionic, but what you might not know is that the Pro phones actually get a whole extra GPU core, which in my testing has made them 30% faster in terms of graphics. Now with the extra GPU core, the regular 13 has 4 of them and the 13 Pro has 5 of them. That should make for a 20% speed increase. But in my testing, it's up to 35% faster in terms of graphics. Now, I assume this is to power the ProMotion display just because it's so fluid and so fast. Apple needs the extra graphics core. But if you are a gamer, for example, gaming on the 13 Pro is going to be a lot better than on the normal 13. And finally, last but not least, the cameras on this year's phones. The Pro phones have an upgrade to the telephoto lens that puts it to f2.8 at a 3x magnification. So the lens is a little bit darker now, but the telephoto lens does support night mode now. So I find myself using the telephoto lens a lot. If you want to see a full camera review of this phone, let me know. But I've been taking a lot more photos with the telephoto lens. I haven't taken that many at nighttime, but I will because the lens now supports night mode. And before on iPhones, when you would zoom in at nighttime, when you would hit the 2x, or in this case, the 3x button, you would think it's switching to the telephoto lens, but it actually wasn't. It was just doing a crop of the main lens. In photos, if you want to check the lens that the photo was taken with, all you have to do is swipe up and you can see all the info about that. So as you can see right there, iPhone 13 Pro Max, telephoto camera, 77mm f2.8. So you can see that this was using the telephoto lens, and the telephoto lens will be used a lot more in lower light because night mode is now supported. So if you guys enjoyed this video, a few tips and tricks and hidden features on the 13 Pro and Pro Max, drop a like down below. Also comment down below telling me what you thought. My name is Michael. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.